I'm surprised we got PG-13, because
it's hot.
In The Host, you play characters who are in love with two different characters, but played by the same actress. What do you call that? Is that a love triangle, a quadrangle?
I think we've coined the term the love box.
Okay.
Because it entails
It has
everything.
depths and dimensions to it.
And it sounds kind of dirty.
It sounds very dirty.
Yeah.
Did that kind of relationship breed any kind of friendly competition between you two?
We both made sure we had fresh breath.
Yeah.
But aside from that, thank God, we're relatively civil, because it would have been deeply unpleasant otherwise, I think.
And so is Saoirse. I mean, it's always weird. It's always strange. Even if you're just kissing one person, you just kind of have to go in and get on with it.
I don't think we made a big thing of it.
No. You just go do it. And after the first time, it starts, it gets easier and easier. And you're grabbing hair and biting lips.
Hey.
Did you happen to find out from your co-star, Saoirse Ronan, who was the better kisser?
No.
Did you want to?
It's probably for the best.
Now, Stephenie Meyer, who wrote The Host, also wrote Twilight, of course, which has given us one of cinema's most memorable love stories. Do you think that either of the love stories in The Host, how do you think it compares to that Twilight tale?
I'm not too familiar with that Twilight tale. Probably the only person on the face of the earth who isn't. But I think in The Host you'll come across a love story which has never been done before. I think Stephenie has come up with something really interesting, especially, frankly, in your character.
I mean, I don't think two men falling in love for the same woman is anything new. The way she told it's new, but we touched upon it a minute ago is this isn't two men in love with one woman. It's two men in love with two women in one body. And
which takes a moment to get you
takes a moment to wrap your mind around, but it certainly raises a whole new set of obstacles on what that means, and the implications for the alien that is controlling the body, learning to sort of have a democratic coexistence with the human that refuses to die.
Well, and The Host is at core an alien invasion story, but there are a lot of elements there. What do you think the message of the story is?
I think tolerance and understanding probably would be the one that I'd personally take away. I mean, I think it's interesting to look at Jamie, the youngest character, and how accepting he is of Wanda's character so quickly. So, he's a child, he's naive, but he accepts kindness when he sees it. He doesn't ask too many questions. But when you look at the way we behave in relation to what are benevolent, peaceful beings, we're savages. And we see that all over the world today. We're scared of the unknown. So perhaps not to be so scared and to look a little bit closer.
Which leads to, I think, trying to accept someone for who they are rather than who you think they are or what they are. In the case of especially this alien, she says to Ian in the scene, "You wouldn't love me if you could hold me. You would crush me." And he says, "You don't know that," because that's not her body. That's not her true form. But Ian falls in love with who she is and the things she does.
Interspecies love.
That's something you haven't seen before.
I'm surprised we got PG-13, because
it's hot.
Okay.
Now, for your characters, Ian and Jared, what was it about those characters that you connected to most?
I think at the core of every character, there's an essence of you, so it's inevitable. But I think Ian observes people and really thinks things through, and I can have a tendency maybe to overthink things through.
It was nice getting to play a tough guy for once. That was nice. But I think it was, what I found quite interesting was the conundrum of losing the person you love in a world where everyone is lost anyway, but finally finding someone and then losing them, and then the physical form of that person coming back to the place you've run away from it from, and being reminded of that pain on a daily basis, but then to know that in fact the person you thought was dead isn't in fact dead, but is trapped. I mean, that's a nightmare of epic proportions. At the first moment we see each other, I hit her, which is a terrible thing to do, but it's such an emotionally complex situation. Sort of anything, any response, no matter how instinctive and brutal, makes sense, weirdly. But it's an interesting problem to have.
Now, Max, your father, Jeremy Irons, just also appeared in a movie that is a young adult novel adapted for the big screen. Did you compare notes on your supernatural movies?
No, that would never happen in my house. No, a bit of friendly competition perhaps, but that's about it.
Now, would you ever be inclined to appear in a movie with him?
No. Not at the moment, at least. Maybe do something on stage, but yeah, I think he understands that I just want to go ahead and try and make my own career.